There's been an increase in the number of calls they get during this coronavirus lockdown period.
With their abusers, local advocates say they are seeing an increase in calls to domestic violence hotlines since people began self-isolating. Now they worry that under the new stay-at-home order, things will only get worse.
Americans are being urged to practice social distancing and stay at home, but that might not be a safe place for everyone, especially with victims of domestic violence. When they're forced to stay in close proximity to their abuser, they, of course, can be at a greater risk. And some of the places that used to be safe for you to get away might not even be open anymore because of the coronavirus pandemic.
The streets look empty as many people are staying at home to stop the spread of COVID-19. But for domestic violence victims, it's a horrible situation. Jessica Garza is a survivor.
Being there with your abuser, I can't imagine what it's like for them right now, because I just needed to leave.
Women and children who live with domestic violence have no escape from their abusers during quarantine, self-isolation, or lockdown. And from Brazil to Germany, Italy to China, activists and survivors say they're already seeing an alarming rise in abuse. In Hubei province, the heart of the initial coronavirus outbreak, domestic violence reports to police more than tripled in one county alone during the lockdown in February, from 47 last year to 162 this year, activists told local media. In Nigeria, a study recently commissioned by the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development and the United Nations Population Fund, Nigeria, with support from Norwegian government, found out that 28% of Nigerian women aged 25 to 29 have experienced some form of physical violence since the age of 15. The Clean Foundation also reports that 1 in every 3 respondents in Nigeria admits to being a victim of domestic violence. Founder of Women at Risk International Foundation, Dr. Kemi Da Silva Ibru, urged all affected adults and caregivers of young children to make use of his 24-hour confidential helpline to report any case of sexual abuse. She also said as the borders close down in many countries and governments institute mandatory lockdowns and families are sequestered, children and women at risk will be locked in and quarantined with their abusers in very volatile home environments. We envisage an increase in the cases of domestic and sexual violence as abusers now see this as an opportunity to cause harm to these groups. Well, on this issue this morning, the rise in domestic violence during this coronavirus pandemic, I will be having a discussion with 2 guests on the program. First up will be Paul Kayode-Joash. He's a life coach, business mogul, mentor to a lot of people. He mentors and coaches many high-performing individuals, teaches practical formulas for peak performance, and also Adefunke Treasure, a legal practitioner at White Dove Solicitors Okpebi, Ikeja, Lagos. She's also a gender-based violence activist by passion. She's also a children and women's advocate. Adefunke, thank you so much for being on the show with me this morning.
Thanks so much.
And how are you doing with this coronavirus pandemic, the lockdown and all that?
My sister, I'm doing fine. Corona assemble everybody at home.
And how are the kids and the family?
We are fine, thank you.
All right, so being a gender-based violence activist, have you also noticed a rise in domestic violence cases before the coronavirus lockdown and after?
Absolutely, sis. Of course, yes, you agree with me that, even before people were trapped in their homes amidst this coronavirus outbreak, you see, there has been an act of domestic violence increase in Nigeria almost every hour. But now, we realize many victims have no means of escape from their abusers right now. Do you understand?
Yes.
In other words, this corona pandemic has given opportunities for more abusive action to take place, because now you are in closer proximity with your abuser. Do you understand?
Yes.
And for longer periods of time. You see, during this time, abuser can order necessary items. Abuser can even order food, even medications. You know, these things that are no longer easily accessible in the outside world. We realize that, abuser tends to punish their spouse with this. In addition, during this, corona pandemic, the person being abused is even further isolated from friends and family. You see? And this can actually increase their feeling of loneliness and hopelessness. And it's even difficult for the kids, you see, because they watch these things. You see, they watch mommy and daddy argue every now and then, over minor issues that can actually, be overlooked. So, indeed, my sister, there has been rise.
And how do you feel? Yes.
Our ears are full. Yes. On social media, outside social media, you see. But you can imagine the situation. Our hands are tied. You see, we cannot easily reach out to these people because everyone is isolated. You see, because everyone is quarantined. You see.
How do you feel the Nigerian society has been equipped to help those going through gender-based violence right now? Are we equipped at all to handle the situation at this time?
Yes, we are equipped. Now, what we are going to do is we have to limit, face-to-face interaction. You see, for now, we've had to postpone community support group this period. It's strictly phone conversation.
Okay.
And like I posted on social media yesterday, for us in Lagos State here, there are some hotlines people can call. Though we cannot reach you face to face, but then we'll let you know we are with you. You are not alone in this period. You see, there's someone that can speak, soothing words, at least to see calm the tension down.
Now, apart from the phone calls,
yes,
are there safe houses or shelters available for domestic violence victims right now in Lagos?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, of course they are. Like I told you earlier on that we've had to limit face-to-face interaction because of this corona pandemic. If we receive a distress call, of course, it will be difficult for us to start conveying the person to these homes. Yes. That's why I said for now, we've restricted everything to, phone call. And then we've also increased our presence on social media. That, okay, you can report the case to us. We'll take it down. But for now, you can't come over. Do you understand? Until normalcy return. Until we sort out this whole corona, this thing. But then we keep giving them guide. This is what you should do. If you notice he's aggressive at this particular point in time, you calm down. Don't allow him hit you, So that's why I told you that for now it's strictly phone conversation.
Strictly phone conversation,
yes, consultation, and social media awareness, more social media awareness, more social media presence, giving our victims tips.
But do you think that will be enough?
For now, what can we do? What can we do? That's all we can. That's what we can do for now.
Okay.
For now, yes.
Okay.
So we hope immediately after the virus, we'll quickly share ourselves and attend to these people. The ones that need to be taken out of their homes, to a safer and a better place. We can quickly do that.
Okay.
Abusers that can be prosecuted, we'll quickly report the case to gender police, and all that. But for now, this isolation period is strictly phone conversation, and social media awareness for now.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I do appreciate you being on the program today. Thank you very much, and stay safe, please. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, bye. All right, that was Adefunke Treasure, a gender-based violence activist and also a lawyer joining us from Lagos. Of course, because of this lockdown, we can't have the physical presence of people in the studio, but of course, we can still utilize technology to, of course, still get their input in. Next up to join me live on the show this morning is Paul Kayode-Joash, actually based in UK. So he'll be joining me live via WhatsApp this morning, and he's a life coach, and he will be giving us all the necessary advice and tips that we can utilize to help reduce domestic violence in our families during this coronavirus pandemic lockdown, and also to deal with the situation in Kwara State. I know you just heard about Lagos State. What pertains in Kwara State? What measures have been put in place for people, women most especially, that are going through domestic violence right now? Would also be talking to another person who is also a passionate domestic violence activist, and also women and children's advocate as well. So we'll be talking to her as well on the show. Please do stay tuned. Be right back with Paul Kayode-Joash after this timeout.
Over 50 years since Nigeria's independence, the country is yet to have a female governor.
We have entertainment, TV and channels, so why not one for women that are more than half the world population, doing so much for survival of the world?
We teach girls shame. Close your legs, cover yourself. We make them feel as though by being born female, they're already guilty of something.
Saying a woman should only be seen and not to be heard is violence against women.
Women are a vital part of our existence, the mothers of our children, our support. Hence, they deserve to lead full lives 100%.
Tune in every Tuesday by 11 a.m.
on Royal FM 95.1 for the program 100% Women, 100% Women, celebrating women.
Okay, right now I have Paul Kayode-Joash here with me, joining us live from the UK. Sir, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate you taking time out to be on the program this morning. So in light of the rise in domestic violence cases worldwide due to the coronavirus lockdown, why do you think there's a rise in the cases of domestic violence worldwide right now due to this lockdown?
Yeah, I think the one of the ways so I think the first thing to say is that thank you for bringing me on board.
Thank you.
It's a sensitive thing that I would love to always like relationship and how we can make something better. And what we can see is that even if you look in China and some of the places, it's not just the domestic violence that is raising the figures. Even divorce has a lot more people getting divorced at this time. One of the reasons is because when you have the kind of lockdown that we have now in London, you have lockdown also. I think the lockdown starts in Lagos today and some other places in Nigeria also. It's like you are actually bringing people together that may not really know each other. There's something that marriage and relationship will do at times, and that before you get have now you're doing a whole lot of stuff together. You're just fixing your person. But when you're not in a relationship, like maybe you're now married in like a marital relationship, you're now busy with the whole business of marriage and with the whole business of living. So everybody's just doing their own thing, and you've lost touch of the other person. So you really almost don't really know the other person anymore. So during this time of lockdown, a lot of people are now discovering different sides of their partner that they've not seen before. Actually, the side has always been there, but they've been very busy with their own life living, and they didn't see it. So, and that is the foundation I want to just talk about. There are like 4 things that we see. We call it the 4 horsemen. That brings out a whole lot of hassle that cause the domestic violence even in relationship, and this time of lockdown, a very sensitive time, really.
It's a very sensitive time.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, what do you feel let's start with couples first before we go to the society. What can the couples, the participants in this situation, what can they do to prevent incidences of violence, arguments, and so on and so forth during this lockdown period?
Okay. Yeah, well, I think before I give you some of the points that I have here, I think we should just look at things that create problem. We'll call it the four horsemen. The first one is criticism. That is, the behavior is defined as an attack on your partner's character. Criticism. So if you're criticizing the other person, it's as if you are attacking their character. I didn't know you were like this. Why do you do it like this? So all those criticism goes a long way in creating a negative feeling in the other person, and that can lead to violence, domestic violence. Another one is contempt, which is like when people just do at times somebody is just doing something, and the way you're looking at it, the thing is just annoying you. It's like contempt. They use sarcasm, they roll their eyes. They may not say enough, but the way they just look at the person, just roll their eyes. Why do you put your leg like this? Why do you put like this? You may even have forgotten how your husband sits, or how your wife will sit herself, and then you come into the place. So why do you put your legs on chair like this? And you just have contempt. I think also that can bring a bit of an issue in that can lead to violence here is defensiveness. When you just want to keep on defending yourself, which is defined as a counterattack. So that means somebody criticized you, or somebody did, or your partner did a contemptuous behavior towards you, and instead of reacting a different way, you come up with a defense, and that also creates a problem. And the last thing here is what I call stonewalling, which is like somebody just lock up. He says, I picked up the slang in Nigeria the other time, see, you lock up. So they just stonewall the other person, don't say nothing. But there are steps that we need to take to be able to deal with all of these, to like I want to call a diffusion, where you can diffuse all the tension that is building. It's a whole lot of psychology thing behind it, because one of the first things you need to know is that if you're going to produce peace, you have to be at peace with yourself. Because the person that is not at peace cannot bring out peace. So, and that is the whole thing. And this thing of lockdown for men, okay, I'm a man, obviously, that's an obvious thing. For a man, do you know that in the house during this period, and he's there with his son, daughter, and wife and stuff, and all he's thinking about is the money he's losing? I just remember I left Nigeria some 2 weeks ago because I had to come back to London, and in the process of me leaving, I lost some money because there are some deals that we're supposed to be doing, there are things that we're supposed to be doing, but I had to leave. So in a way, you're here in a lockdown, and all you're thinking about is the money you've just lost. The person that is feeling as if they're losing money, and they already have personal issues going on in themselves, they may not have peace, and the guy is already troubled. Somebody, you may actually be depressed. Some people don't make money except they open their shops. Okay, but now the government say close the shops, and the wife is saying I need more money. The kids are saying food is finishing, and all those things. Guy may be having a lot of tension. So we need to learn how to release our tension and our thinking, knowing that things will definitely get better. It may go worse before it gets better, and a kind of an understanding of people that, okay, at this time, there's a lot of tension in people, financial tension, emotional tension. Or some people have friends that they talk to on a daily basis that helps them to release their tension. And now there's a lockdown, you can't even see that friend again. So it's a whole lot of, it's like a lot of time bomb ticking at the same time. So we, the partners, and we and our partners and your partner and yourself have to be like very conscious that this is the pressurized situation. So some things we just have to let it go. Some complaints we just have to leave it. Some criticism we just have to like just overlook it, because some people are having a lot of tension at the time. And in a way, I want to just say something Apart from avoiding those big things, at times you may want to use we want to use I instead of you. What do I mean? How to express your own feeling. Like use I statement to voice your needs as opposed to you statement. Like I don't like blah blah blah, opposing to do all this. And so if it's like when I say I don't feel comfortable with what you're doing, it's different from you are always this thing. The you statement creates because the you statement creates accusation. The you statement creates a whole lot of things to the other person, and then they will now want to feel defensive. Another thing that people can do is that you may just want to spend the time to actually listen to your partner's feeling and just try to see things from their point of view and not just your own point of view. Those are just some basics. So there's still more stuff. I don't want to just keep on going.
Okay, because of time, actually, we're running out of time. Well, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. Real quickly, just for a few seconds, what can the society do right now to help those going through gender-based violence at the moment?
I mean, well, gender-based violence is actually something that is quite. I think society needs to first of all develop an attitude that it is not acceptable. I mean, we need to agree as a society that no matter what the reason is, it's not acceptable. It's not excusable. You can't give us a reason why you do it. Because, at times, some of our African society will come in a situation whereby it's okay, there's a fight between couples or something, and then they will come and say, yes, husband, you shouldn't have just spoken to that like this to your wife, that's why your wife attacked you. Or wife, you shouldn't have spoken like this to your husband, that's why your husband attacked you. No. We need to have an attitude by saying that it is not okay. And any form of gender violence that we see, we need to condemn it. And we need to start from young age. It's like when the boy is beating the younger sister, and or you're seeing the father physically abuse the mom. All those things are working in the people's psychology and in their mind. It is not okay just because somebody is your younger sister for you to beat the person. That kind of person is learning that it's okay for men or for the male gender to physically abuse the female gender.
Okay, sir.
And just sort it from the beginning.
Okay, I'm so sorry. We're out of time, so I have to just interrupt you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your input. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much, sir. Please stay safe with your family and yourself as well. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you being on the program. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, that was Paul Kayode-Joash, a life coach and business model as well, based in the UK, all the way from the UK. Thank you so much, sir, for being on the program. Okay, so real quickly, I want to get your own input. How have you been dealing with incidences of maybe arguments, or have you noticed a higher rate of argument or stress in your family as a couple right now during this lockdown we're experiencing right now due to coronavirus, and how have you been handling it? So I'll just accept 1 or 2 calls: 0810-8501-371, 0810-8501-371. Okay, so I have with me right now Anthony Oshinowe. She's a lawyer and also the executive director of Theo's Caregivers Initiative. And Anthony, thank you so much for being on right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. So right now in Kwara State, for those going through domestic violence in their homes, Are there any services available, any hotlines they can call to help them out in this kind of situation?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have a system available for them. The little we just do now is we try to get in touch with the Ministry of Social Development, and some NGOs also come on board to help. But aside that, there's nothing available for them. No emergency shelter, no psychosocial support for them. So we just try in our own little way as NGOs to try and talk to them and see if we can intervene in the house, and where it might lead to legal issues, we actually try to help them in that.
So it's very imperative for something to be done as soon as possible in the state.
There's nothing on ground for now.
So there's an urgency for that. That needs to be done.
Yes, we need the states to put structure in place. Even if we're going to resolve the family issue back, at least, like we've had so many issues where women are sent out of their house, are being beaten, and they don't even have relation in Ilorin. So the question is, where do they go to? What do they do? We've had issue where some of them don't even walk. So, and when this issue comes up, what happens to them? Nothing happens. So we need the government to at least put a structure in place, at least for immediate response before other things come on board.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister Antonia, for being on the show today. Thank you so much. Appreciate your call. All right. So that is it on the show this morning. Thanks so much for listening to 100% Woman. I am Temitope Oluleye. 100% Woman will return next week, Tuesday at 11 a.m. Please do stay tuned to Roll FM 95.1. Please stay safe once again.
Royal FM 95.1, your preferred radio station.